50 Cent has confirmed that Jay-Z is the first person Diddy plans to confront after getting released. According to rumors, Jay-Z was the one who set Diddy up to take the fall, and now he's trying to quietly separate himself from the chaos. Jay-Z was a regular face at Diddy's exclusive parties and was even mentioned in several lawsuits alongside him, but somehow, Jay managed to avoid the courtroom completely, and the accusers mysteriously backed off. Could Jay-Z actually be the one pulling the strings behind Diddy's downfall?
That the same concept with the Super Bowl. See, they don't understand the relationship. They was trying to get him to do the Super Bowl without me.
Wasn't happening.
And that's not it. It wouldn't happen.
No way.
You see what I'm saying? Because he would look and go, it's okay for them, the award shows, not to give me the trophies. If you look at even Jay-Z's career, you can look at that and say the association to Beyonce is when he started to receive the 16, well, I think he got 16, 17 Grammys since he's been with Beyonce. Right? And you go, prior to that, one.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that came in association, like you see the kids even have Grammys. Like they don't sing yet. They don't sing. Right. They don't rap yet. And they already have Grammys. So it's like they give them this trophy so we secure that they're coming to the award show.
The tension between 50 Cent, Jay-Z, and Puffy goes way back to the 1990s. It all started when 50 dissed Jay-Z on his track How to Rob, calling him a fake. From that moment, 50 pegged Jay as someone who talked tough but never acted on it. In the 50s, Jay was more of a gatekeeper than a competitor, someone who used his influence to blacklist other artists and keep them from rising. Jay even instructed everyone in his camp to drop their albums at the same time as 50's, hoping to sabotage his sales. According to 50, Jay and Diddy didn't reach billionaire status off their music alone. They built their empires by holding other artists down.
And, I remember one time walking in the studio, Bleak Beans, everybody was in there, and I was like, man, I'm telling you, man, y'all got a chance right now, just flood it, put out a lot of music, because 50 Cent is coming. And, 4 months later, in the club hit and it was over. And It was just like, okay, now everybody got to sit on the sidelines and wait this tide to wave out.
There's a huge difference in energy internationally in 50 Cent and Jay-Z. In fact, his largest selling record sold 430-something thousand copies. My largest selling records sold 5 million. You let them be fooled in America and think there's a competition there. Because America can be purchased. We can buy it with marketing dollars. You see what I'm saying? But the rest of the world, there's not enough marketing dollars to go around.
That's why I made a statement about Taylor Swift. I wish you would come take one of my awards so I could black his eye in front of everybody. And Jay disagrees.
I want everyone to be clear. No one's scared of 50 Cent.
Does that bother you? Does it bother you?
No, it doesn't bother me. It's just his choice.
Why would you have to make that clear when no one's ever asked me if I'm afraid of Jay-Z?
The public is responding to his punk presentation. It's not 50 Cent. I don't have a problem with him. Kanye would not take a trophy from me. Neither Jay-Z.
Right.
Neither one of them.
What?
From the very start, 50 could see right through Jay and Diddy's game. He watched how they tried to bury Nas and overshadow his work. These same men who preached about empowering black artists and uplifting the community were actually making sure no one else climbed to their level. 50 never bought into their brotherhood image. He understood that anyone who challenged Jay or Diddy became a target. In that world, if you weren't part of the Puffy and Jay alliance, your career was as good as over. Lord Jamar even compared it to a gay mafia running hip-hop, where record labels moved in sync, and if the power players didn't like you, they'd make sure your name disappeared from the charts.
You couldn't be bigger than Jay-Z. You couldn't sell more records than Jay-Z. But all you had to do was listen to Benny Siegel, and Benny Siegel was, oh my God. Oh my God.
Yeah, he said that. That was the first of me actually hearing it. Like, oh shit. Like, I used to have questions like why every time my album dropped, Jay would drop right on top of me. He wouldn't let me breathe, or right before me. Like, I was always close, and I'm always thought like, damn, if a kid, back then it was physical copies. So if you had $20, $20 that you saved up and you was gonna buy an album, and it's under the same house, Rockefeller, between Jay and Beanie C, you won't, 9 times out of 10, you won't buy the Jay-Z album. I never understood that every single album that I dropped, Jay dropped right on top of me. And it was like, damn, like that in-house competition at that magnitude was crazy. Jay already the boss, but I always thought that, like, let me breathe. But to maliciously plot to hold me back, I don't know, man. I don't believe that. I don't want to believe that. I mean, but like I said, Dame would know better than.
According to 50, Jay-Z's been a hater since day one. Instead of opening doors for other black artists, he focused on shutting them out. One of the biggest examples came during the Super Bowl. Jay allegedly tried to block 50 from performing altogether. It was only thanks to Eminem that 50 got the chance to appear. Eminem reportedly called NFL officials himself and told them straight, if 50 didn't perform, he wasn't performing either.
The big homie Jay-Z, right? I said to my nephew, I said, yo, listen, I have to ask him this straight up. So I said, yo, why? Who is the people that's on NFL? And he said to me, and I'm sorry for anybody who don't understand. And he said, the white guy called for 50 Cent. So I said, who's the white guy? I'm digging this Jimmy Iovine. Mm-hmm. He said, no, Eminem called directly for 50. He said,
that's his guy.
He said, I can't do it if I can't bring 50 up.
But that's his guy.
That was beautiful.
And guess who's Dre's guy?
Your guy.
Let's make the level.
I mean, Jay-Z's on a whole nother level. Like, I mean, you know, he's like, but you know what I like about 50? 50's on a whole nother level, but he's still approachable. You still get to meet the people and you know, Jay got to remember the people that made him. You know, I'm not saying I don't got respect. I respect Jay-Z, 50, used to respect, you know, Diddy, but all that crazy. But, you know, I always respected him because I looked at, for New York, those were like the guys. You know what I'm saying? The guys with the most money and the most influence. So with Jay is like, when the last time you haven't seen Jay, so I think people are just gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I mean, Jay, you know, you gotta remember, he didn't want 50 at the Super Bowl. That was crazy.
Wait, Jay didn't want 50 at the Super Bowl?
You didn't know that? Yeah, you know what?
I remember Eminem pushed for it.
That was some hater. Yeah,
I remember Eminem was like, I'm not gonna do it unless 50 does it. I heard that.
Yeah,
but I didn't know that Jay was trying to stop it.
I don't think Jay. I don't know. 50 never told me that, but I don't think Jay wanted him there. I don't know.
Because of what some of the.
I mean, you know, it's competition. You got to think. 50 always been competition for Jay. Remember, I'm about $1. What the 50 Cent?
That was a long time ago.
That was what 9? What was that?
But
9?
But after that, they did a song together. Remember
yeah,
the whole.
Of course, but 50
was
always competition. Then remember Jay said, yo, 50's coming. He told Siegel and them, and Memphis Bleak and all them. Yeah. And come on, 50's like, he's on a whole nother level. You gotta remember, he came after this. He came after Jay and Rockefeller. G-Unit came, and people might get on G-Unit, but with Eminem, Dr. Dre, 50 Cent, nobody has outsold us, bro. Yeah. Nobody has had the effect.
Jay-Z and Diddy have been working side by side since the 90s, cut from the same cloth in every way. But when Diddy needed him the most, Jay stayed silent, and some even believe Jay was the one who orchestrated this entire situation. Consider this. CNN had footage of Diddy assaulting Cassie and kept it hidden for 8 years. Why wait so long to release it? And why did it suddenly surface now? The timing feels too calculated to be random.
Who was kind of like, we're done with this guy. You're not back. You're threatened to say this. Release the footage, right? So they released the footage. He comes out, issues an apology. While his lawyers accuse the government of leaking the tape, it was later admitted as evidence in his trial. Again, January deal, March is raiding his house, Miami and LA. May, Here's a video being dropped from CNN, even though they've been sitting on it for 8 years. September 2024, book is released, Kim's Lost Words, which, by the way, there's a lot of speculation with this thing here, so whatever I'm reading is not necessarily 100%. It is there, it is not there. The alias they use on who wrote the book is Shanti Millwood, which is an alias for Tupac, which is kind of weird. Why would you use that? This book appeared on Amazon, allegedly written by Kim Porter, accused Diddy of misconduct with minors. Porter's children denounced it as fake. Investigators revealed the real author was Chris Todd, who claimed he compiled the book from a mysterious black.
Everyone in the industry knows Diddy didn't just fall. He was pushed. 1 minute, he's at the top of the world, being celebrated and handed keys to cities. The next, he's being led away in handcuffs after losing $700 million. To many insiders, it was clear that Diddy was targeted.
Surprised at what things are coming out with Diddy at all, or you're like, you have no idea, it's none of my business, you'll live longer? Kind of like the mindset.
Surprised. How could you be surprised with anything that happens in hip hop? You know, hip hop is the Wild West. So you're gonna have the good, you're gonna have the bad, you're gonna have the ugly.
You think he's being targeted, or some of the stuff he's got, there's credibility on what they're coming after him with the tapes and the feds and raiding his Miami home, his LA home?
I believe he's being targeted.
You believe he's being targeted?
Yeah. I believe, somebody, has the power to pull the trigger to make, this stuff, this domino effect happen.
50 Cent claims he knew from the start that Jay-Z was the one gunning for Diddy, and he even mocked the situation publicly.
I go, oh shoot, like that had to be there.
We getting tighter, you know what I'm saying? And united we stand, and ain't nothing else.
Black excellence, they're sitting there like, yeah. It's the billionaire brunch, like, I hate you, man. I don't aware of anything going on here. This is the one time I'm gonna be with you just this year. Come on, bro.
Interview 7. You don't need to be a genius to see Jay-Z's grip on the music business. Everything he does for profit. According to 50, even Jay's marriage to Beyonce was a calculated business deal. He's called their union a contract. Before marrying Beyonce, Jay had only won 1 Grammy. After their marriage, he's earned 16. And even their kids have Grammys now, despite never releasing music. To 50, that says everything about how deeply Jay controls the industry.
Look, when Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce. Mm-hmm. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. Now those trophies, the trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, if you look at his career, this guy,
you're gonna let him say that?
Jay was getting Grammys. He had one.
Exactly.
He had one.
He didn't show up.
He had like 20 now.
Oh, Lord.
He had like 18 since he been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life.
You're not wrong.
He was one. At the same time. He got them shits. He started drinking. His pictures were he thinks the cup.
Wait a minute. So you're saying the success is derived from the marriage?
Absolutely, he's been treated differently.
The accolades. Because he's no longer viewed as like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man.
And the biggest ones because of the position Beyonce's.
Oh.
On top of the business side of Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Some people like to just be an artist.
Yeah, I was actually forced to be an artist and a businessman because when I tried to get a deal, I couldn't get a deal, so I had to create Rockefeller Records. We actually created Rockefeller Records from nothing. And, so I was forced to know both sides of the business.
What shocks people most is how Jay-Z has managed to stay out of prison. He's been accused of doing things just as bad or worse than what Diddy's accused of. The only difference? Jay knew how to stay quiet. He didn't go bragging on live TV like Diddy did. Jay-Z's troubled past goes way back. In December 1999, he was accused of stabbing music executive Lance Rivera at the Kit Kat Club in New York City.
A top rap star is busted.
Jay-Z
turned himself in tonight, and the cops started working on his rap sheet, accusing him of a stabbing at a trendy party.
Kimberly Richardson is at Midtown South right now. Kimberly.
Well, Rosanna, just a few hours ago, police here at Midtown South arrested Sean Carter, better known as Jay-Z. The rap star voluntarily turned himself in here at the precinct earlier this evening. Now, Carter is being held here in connection with that stabbing fight that erupted at the Kit Kat Club last night. But just a few moments ago, Carter's attorney had this to say.
He's not involved in this, period.
He was at the club?
That's my only comment. He wasn't involved in this.
So it was someone else that did the stabbing and the hitting?
I didn't say that. I said he was not involved in it.
Now, Slovis goes on to say that at no time was Jay-Z hiding from the police, that they were in touch with cops all day and that they're trying to resolve this as gentlemen. But as Mike Sheehan shows us, others say they've seen the dark side of Jay-Z.
I have my faults. You know, I'm not a person.
Diddy found himself in a similar situation years ago after allegedly shooting someone. Yet, just like Jay, he wasn't convicted. But now, decades later, Diddy's behind bars while Jay acts like he's clueless about his old friend's mess. How could someone as powerful as Jay-Z, who's been friends with Diddy for more than 30 years, claim he never knew what was going on behind closed doors? 50 says he only had to meet Diddy once to figure out exactly who he was dealing with.
I've haven't liked each other business-wise for a long time.
Well, that's why it's only business. It was really away from that. I explained why I didn't hang out with him, right? Because he's a little fluffy stuff going on.
It's not your scene.
It's not my style.
Not your scene.
They hug you from the front and the back at the same time. I got uncomfortable with him because the way he was acting to try and get me to hang out with him was like, yo, I'll take you shopping. Like, and I'm like, what you mean? Like, that's something you say to a woman you're attracted to, maybe.
Right.
It's just weird, bro. Like, and now you start to see a lot of the weird stuff that was there. It looks like it all lines up, don't it? It was not in the closet. It was in front of you and you wasn't seeing it because you see the beards. Or you see the girls. So you didn't look at them the way it actually is to a degree. When I say people respond, how people respond to things matter, like the internet will take to it and just go off with it. Meek responds being the uncomfortability. He goes, yo, I'll spend $100,000 to find out why my name is in this like this. And it's in it only because he's uncomfortable.
One person who was always anti-Diddy and was always speaking about Diddy as a problematic person was 50 Cent. And it turns out that it's just been announced that he's created a docu-series on Netflix. I can't wait to see this. The other end of that, every person who has tried to speak out about this, who has tried to speak out about the industry, the type of people that are controlling the industry, the attacks that people face from the media if they try to speak out, is always the same. They're called crazy. And an example of one such individual who went through those sorts of attacks is the actor Orlando Brown. He was on Disney, and I remember everyone telling us that he was totally insane and deranged when he was saying a lot of things that at the time sounded crazy, particularly about Diddy. Take a listen.
The requirement is you gotta say no to Diddy. If it's new booty in the building, you know he's gonna get it.
Don't take your girlfriend to a Diddy party.
You can take but he won't you.
Diddy, to me, is the fall guy you're still seeing.
Interview 10. None of this was ever truly hidden. Everyone in the business knew. Artists like Jaguar Wright and Gene Deal, both of whom worked closely with Jay and Diddy, have been calling this out for years. But the industry doesn't care. As long as executives keep making money, what happens to victims stays irrelevant.
Jaguar has been warning us about Jay-Z. Jay-Z has now had an official lawsuit everywhere. It's now being talked about louder than ever. I guess, does that give you some peace to know that people are finally really questioning this man?
It's emboldening me. I spoke on Piers Morgan. I said that I had 3 victims that I've been working with, victims of the Carters, that were ready to come forward. This might help them feel a little more confident now. So this is great because he's been evading. But the thing is, everyone in the backdrop knew that he was the celebrity John Doe. Everybody knew that. They knew it when I did Piers Morgan.
Is Beyonce Celebrity B?
I hope to God not. But she was around. And she's got enough on her plate. After everything that happened with the election and everything that's happening right now, I'm not gonna dump on that woman. She got better fish to fry. What I will say is that her husband, she knows exactly who he is.
Yeah.
She knows. She knows. Rihanna was the death jam.
She was an innocent baby when she came over here. And look at her now.
14 going on 15 years old. Flown over without parental supervision in a private plane by a man who was supposed to be a producer who auditioned her at 3 a.m. in the fucking morning in a hotel room. Auditioning at 3 a.m. in the morning, a 14-year-old girl. She was flown to another country. She was taken to Def Jam headquarters. She was left in a conference room alone with Sean Carter for nearly 6 hours alone with no parental supervision. Her father collected a $500,000 check. She has the fastest ink deal in Def Jam history.
But Diddy's not ready to let Jay ruin his legacy without a fight. He's reportedly preparing to strike back. According to TMZ, White House insiders have confirmed that a pardon for Diddy is under discussion and could be granted as early as next week. Rumors of a pardon have been floating around for weeks, but now it seems closer than ever to being finalized.
I feel like this is the 100th time that I've seen this being reported, but now according to TMZ, Donald Trump is thinking about giving Diddy that pardon. I will say the wording of this TMZ article is a little confusing, but they are citing that their source is a high-ranking White House official. According to TMZ, Donald Trump is thinking about commuting Diddy's sentence as early as this week. But TMZ cites this source as Donald Trump is vacillating, which means that he's not sure which way he wants to go. He's swaying back and forth, and he's indecisive about what he wants to do. I'm sure the wording about Donald Trump being indecisive on whether to give a pardon or not to Diddy is the fact that Diddy was publicly talking crap about him, because we all know how Donald Trump is. But it can still potentially be a big deal to know that he is even potentially considering a pardon for Diddy at this point, because he doesn't have to consider jack crap. The White House officials who are saying that they are urging Donald Trump to not give Diddy a pardon say that they are not sure what Donald Trump is going to end up doing, because at the end of the day, he does what he wants. We do just know he granted a pardon last Friday to another person that was in Congress. And I think with Donald Trump, we literally never know exactly what he is going to do. But all I gotta say is, if you're about to free Diddy, you also better free those Epstein files too.
Prison on prostitution charges, President Donald Trump seems to confirm he's heard from the mogul's legal team. The comments coming Monday from the Oval Office as reporters asked about a pardon for Jeffrey Epstein's accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, who's serving 20 years for child sex trafficking.
I wouldn't consider it or not consider it. I don't know anything about it, but I will speak to the DOJ. I don't know. I mean, I'd have to speak to the DOJ. I'll look at it. I have a lot of people have asked me for pardons. I call him Puff Daddy has asked me for a pardon.
I love Diddy. You know, he's a good friend of mine. He's a good guy. I think he's a good guy. I'm going to stick up for him.
Trump and Diddy's ties go all the way back to the late 90s. Diddy was reportedly a guest at the president's 2005 wedding, and they ran in the same social circles.
One mogul after another. It's mogul time. It's your boy Diddy.
ET's cameras caught them together at this New York charity event in 2008.
Interview 12. Over on X, one user claimed that multiple news outlets are reporting that Donald Trump may commute Sean Diddy Combs' sentence as soon as next week. They wrote, "I covered the Diddy trial. If this is true, it's a slap in the face to survivors like Cassie. This is no different from the privilege Ghislaine Maxwell got. Justice shouldn't depend on your fame or wealth." 50 Cent has been actively pushing Trump not to go through with the pardon. He's tagged Trump in several posts on X and Instagram, insisting Diddy doesn't deserve it. No one despises Diddy more than 50. Before sentencing, 50 even wrote a letter to the judge saying Diddy could never change, that letting him out would only endanger the victims and lead him straight back to his old behavior.
As 50 Cent caught wind of it, he said, man, you can't get no pardon running your mouth like that. LOL, get up out of here. As he had reposted that clip of Diddy talking down on Trump and calling Trump out, as they did have a relationship at one point in the past. Now, Diddy has been very vocal about being anti-Trump, and supposedly this pardon is allegedly coming from Diddy's team now, as he was convicted. We saw what happened Friday, 4 years in federal prison for the two-man act counts that he was found guilty of in this RICO things that he got denied of. But with that going on, he still was ultimately convicted right here. Now, 50 Cent, he gonna jump out there and go at Diddy every chance he get. I feel like he really uses it as marketing, but there is a little sentiment there. As Dirty Daphne, that is his baby mama. She is somebody that got up on the stand and testified against.
If the pardon doesn't come through, Diddy's already made his next move, filing an appeal to overturn his conviction. He's determined to get out one way or another.
We are following some breaking news right now, and Sean Combs is taking the first step to appeal his conviction and prison sentence. His attorney today filed a notice of appeal. Earlier this month, the disgraced music mogul was sentenced to 4 years in prison on prostitution-related charges. His lawyers have argued the conviction should not stand because Combs lacked a financial motive for transporting male escorts. More papers detailing the arguments behind the appeal are expected to be filed soon.
Interview 14. Jay-Z may have built a massive empire, but even the strongest empires crumble eventually. If Diddy truly believes Jay set him up, this feud could unravel everything the elite in hip-hop have kept buried for decades. So what do you think? Did Jay-Z really betray Diddy? Or is 50 Cent just stirring the pot like he always does? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you like this video, make sure subscribe to the Taylor Tells All.